I'm currently sitting on a box, but I needed to just talk about this because I was in a shower and I was talking to myself because I was like, what's going on? Because the past 2 days we have not been doing, like, okay, that's the box breaking. We have not been doing what we're supposed to be doing in the sense of like we have things to, like we have plans today. Like why are we not doing the things? What's going on? And I just talked to myself and I was like, I'm scared. I'm like, scared of what? What's going on? And while I kept talking to myself and talking to myself, I realized, I'm scared that I'm delusional. I'm scared that I'm crazy because I'm scared because I'm seeing other people do other kind of things, and the things that I want to do, it almost feels like I'm crazy for wanting that, and I feel like, do I need to stay and be realistic? And then I said to myself, oh, well, when you were being realistic, you didn't want to live because that's not the kind of life that you wanted to live, so you didn't want to live. So you want to go back to a life that you don't want to live and become depressed again and not want to live? I was like, no, well, yeah, but I just need someone to hold my hand through it. And that was such a big realization. It was just, I need someone to hold my hand and tell me that I'll lead you through it and it'll be okay and you're allowed to take this path and I support you and I'm here if you need me, but you're allowed to take this path and go and be free. You're allowed to be free. And there are two people that told me that, like my somatic physical therapist said that, and a tarot reader said that you're allowed, like specifically the allowing, like the reader said like you're supposed to be free, and like that kind of felt like a passage, like a slip of like, you're allowed to do it, you're allowed to go and be free because this is what you were brought here to do. And having that validation, having someone support you through that, because God forbid, like my parents, as much as they like logically want the best for me and say like that they're okay with it, I can just tell that it's just very hard for them, or that they just find it hard to let me go. And of course they do, and I find it hard because I tend to I like take responsibility for their feelings. And so like having someone so I was like, you know what, you're allowed. So I gave myself that. I was like, you're allowed to go, you're allowed to be free, and you're allowed to live the life that you want. And apparently I've been waiting for someone to tell me that I'm allowed to do that, and a lot of people have told me this already, but just realizing, like being aware that I have this, like I need someone to like tell me like, hey, you're allowed. That really helped. And then I kind of broke down in tears, and I got so excited. I was like, oh my god, finally, like I get to live the life that I want to live. I get to live how I want to live, and I'm allowed to be free and do what I want, like go after the things that I want. And like how I'm going to figure that out, like how I'm going to do that, I get to figure that out now, because I've allowed myself to want it, to do it. So all I need to, like, the next step is just making it happen. I feel the hardest step was just making me realize that I'm allowed to live this way, and I just cried, like, out of happiness and just relief of, like, I'm finally leaving. Like, I'm finally leaving. Like, I keep having that relief, like, those tears of relief of, like, like, and I was just smiling and crying, and it was just like, got out of the shower, I was like hugging myself, and I just knew that like if someone were to see me right now, they would think I had gone insane. And I'm actually sick. I don't want to, like, I'm sick and tired of judging myself for the way I express, especially when I'm alone. We, like, you always I was like kind of like, oh, like she's like losing her mind. No, I was like, I'm going to stop telling myself to feel differently, to act differently, because and just trust my expression, because your expression, the feelings that you get, the things that come out of you, the movements that you want to make, it's a message, it's telling you something. And if you keep suppressing it, you'll never get to what the problem is, or what's going on, or who you are, or what you want. So I just cried and just like smiling, and I looked at myself, and I was just like, I barely recognize myself. You know, I barely recognize myself because I don't see myself smile. Like, I am not used to seeing myself smile and like be happy and like so, you know, like that. And then I said, like, I'm scared. Like, and then I noticed, like, I'm scared of that I have to let this go, that I have to give this up again. Like, I'm scared that I have to give up this joy, and like I'm very protective of it. I'm kind of like, it's my joy and nobody gets to touch it, you know? And I'm so scared of people taking that away from me, that joy, that me allowing myself to want what I want. And like, I'm so scared of people stopping me. And that I lose that feeling again. Because this is who I am. And I just know, and I'm just like so excited. I looked in the mirror, I was like, I'm so excited to get like those wrinkles from laughing too much. I'm so excited to not feel like the muscles cramp in my cheeks when I laugh. Because at some point I just want it to be like stuck to my face. That is, you know, that is it, that this is just my face. Like I get like my muscles start to hurt when I laugh too much because I'm so not used to smiling like that. So it just, today feels like a turning point. Yeah. And like, I'm just thinking, you know, also like all of the people that, I don't know, I just need to think about all the people that tried to stop me. It's not because they tried to stop me, but it's because they're, you know, because they stop that in themselves and don't allow themselves to live the way that they want. So when they see me, it's a threat. It's not personal, but I do think of things that they said or things that they did, and them trying to control me so they can feel okay by themselves. And I think of other people who want the same as I do, and I think of me always, like, I've been saying this for years, like, I want to be an inspiration to people in the sense of, like, I want to lead by example. And what I want to learn people, or what I want to give people, is that you're allowed to live the way that you want to live, and it's your life, and you should do the things that make you happy, and it's possible. And I want to show that it's possible by doing it myself, by leading by example. If I can do it, then you can do it. If I can go from feeling like I can't do anything, can't get anything done, I couldn't go outside, I had panic attacks, you know, I was depressed, I was suicidal for years and years on end, and like, I did not get seen for it, I did not get noticed, I was alone in it. How you know, my parents love me a lot, but they just couldn't see it, and I don't blame them for it. They couldn't help me with it. They didn't want to see it. But I went through all of that 25 years of just not being me, and rejecting myself, and rejecting what I wanted, and rejecting my life. And today that is changing. I can feel it. So now I'm just stuck in this limbo of like, at the end of my old life and at the beginning of the new, and just somewhere in between that's where I am right now. So I sometimes get hopeless because I can't see, I'm not in the life that I want to have yet. And I mean, I already feel that I'm in it, but the physical manifestations of that and like all the old things are also still there. And so it's just slowly but surely. Patience is definitely patience, and consistency is the key to everything, is what I've learned. And it's not as grueling as people make it out to be, and it can be very tiny, and the actions can be tiny, but the effects can be so big. But it just takes time to get there. So that's what I wanted to document that. I feel like this is going to be a video I'm gonna look back at and be like, I'm gonna cry because I'm gonna be so proud of myself for doing all of this. I feel so blessed. It's like, I feel so blessed. I feel so privileged and so blessed. And I also just thank myself. I thank my future self and my old self, and like for sticking in there, hanging in there, and everyone in my life, had purpose, had meaning, even the bad ones or the bad experiences. Everything. I'm so grateful. Okay. I think that's it.